Chris, one of the surprise announcements, I think, possibly surprise announcements at E3 this year was Capcom announcing Resident Evil 7. And also saying there's a demo available right now, and you and I have both played the demo.
Yes.
What do you think of it?
It's very, very different to what I was expecting. I mean, the trailer that you saw was different enough, but to actually kind of play it, it's a very different tone to what I was expecting, a kind of a different setting and potentially a completely different story, which isn't necessarily a bad thing at all.
It's not, but as a sort of Resident Evil super fan, I, at this moment, don't really see the connection in anything other than name and that it's a horror game, I guess, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, assuming the kind of the story within the demo at least is that you go to this house which you believe is haunted, and there's something not quite right about it. But it feels more like kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of than zombie focused. So there's like a deranged family and not zombies.
It does, but the demo is called like the first hour, isn't it, or first hour beginning? I can't remember what it's called now, but it's like, it does suggest it's like the first hour, which it's not an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it is if you keep playing it, and there are multiple endings. But because this is, I believe, was developed after Capcom's Kitchen, the VR thing, that this has turned into this game, and obviously the whole game's playable in VR.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a really weird one because I wonder if this demo is any indication of Resident Evil 7, or if, like PT perhaps originally was going to be, it's just like this is a proof of concept, an idea. But then, having said that, if Capcom's Kitchen, which they were showing off an awful lot to the press, and in fact anyone they could get in, like community they had in as well, it makes you sort of wonder if this is the game, or sort of an indication of the game. We're in for an incredibly different Resident Evil because it's first person for a start, similar to the way PT was for Silent Hill. It was first person. But the different thing for me is Resident Evil's never really been about psychological horror, whereas Silent Hill was, and the idea that in Silent Hill, or PT rather, you would just repeat the cycle because it was messing with your brain. For me, Resident Evil has always been like a story-driven. And I know people are going to go, story shit, but like it's a house, and quite a small house by the looks of it. So if this is part of the game, where the hell does it go from here?
Well, you know what, you're completely right. I mean, the very kind of last bit of the trailer, there's like a shot of something that looks like a zombie. Yeah. Because it's like that girl that's like just attacks you for no reason. She doesn't seem to fit within the story of the family as well, because the Baker family, there's two parents and the son. It's sort of like a girl, so it could be a zombie. But in terms of what they've done, they've not even gone back to the roots. They've just kind of sidestepped and kind of taken 1,000 different influences and put it into one, which for me is brilliant because I mean, one of the best bits of the trailer was when you watch the tape and then you go to the back door. There's little things you think you see and you're not quite sure, like a shadow walking past the door, the can roll on the floor, all kinds of little elements which remind me a lot of Fear. Fear was one of my favourite games. It did the kind of psychological really well.
But so did you finish it? Because the thing is, it is very tense. I wouldn't begrudge anyone saying nope, I'm had enough. Did you actually get an ending? I
got to a point where the demo ended because I'd kind of completed it. And it was satisfying enough for saying that they're literally just releasing it now. It's not until January. Fair play to them for releasing anything. They didn't have to.
I mean, this is, I suppose, if people are really fussed, like not being funny, the demo's available on PlayStation. Stop watching this, go play it. It's only about 20 minutes. Come back and we'll talk. So, spoiler warning there. What ending did you get?
So, I got the key from... There's like a little video where one of the people that you go into the house was in the... You go like down some stairs behind a passageway.
Yep.
Watched that guy. Found someone standing next to him as he fell to the floor after his face had been smashed in. Basically got the key, headed to the back door, opened the back door, I was kind of someone grabbed me on my shoulder and went more or less something along the lines of "You're not going anywhere, son," and then it hit me, and that's when you wake up in that room where there's that camera filming you.
Yeah.
And then you go back to that room, the camera's filming you. Your friend tries to loosen your band tie around you.
Yeah.
And then someone comes in, attacks him, and then there's this zombie thing or some
the woman,
weird,
the girl.
just jumps at you.
Yeah.
And then it ended for me.
Same ending as me then. Did you find? Did you go up the stairs and find the mannequins?
Upstairs. Nothing really happened with them though. I just kind of.
Oh really?
Yeah.
There's 3 by the wall, and if you hang around long enough, you turn around and one of them's just a fourth one is like facing you in the middle of the room, and then as you wander around, and I was like, no, it's just I was trying to talk to myself, it's a game.
Well,
leave it.
To be fair, when I was heading to the back door for the very last time, a mannequin did just fall
out. Yeah, I had that same.
But
thing.
That was kind of the only thing that happened with the mannequins.
So, do you know if So basically, for those of you who've played it, and for those of you that haven't, you find out where the passageway is because you find a VHS tape, you watch it, and it shows people. Oh, I'm not sure the people who've come before, or maybe you. I don't really know. But it reveals a secret passage. You go down the back. That was actually it reminded me of Blair Witch Project because you go down there, and I climbed down. I was like, right, I'm just going to look at this bloke. I'm going to do what he told me. He wants me to film him coming down the stairs, so I keep filming him, and nothing's happening. And it was a bit gamey. I was like, something's going to happen. I walked around the corner, and there's a guy facing the other way, and I thought he was going to turn around and attack me, not that he'd been killed. After that, it cuts back to you in present day. Just having watched the VHS, there's a little note on the table. I found a note. I can't remember what it said, but there's a note that was threatening. Went in the back. I haven't seen that. I was like, I'll pull the lever. I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
So I walked around the house a bit more because I found a mannequin's finger. Obviously, you sort of wander around. I thought, because you can, like in Resident Evil games, you can look at your items and move them around and stuff. And I thought perhaps that mannequin finger is actually a key the other end, and it wasn't.
I thought that.
But it wasn't. So I went back and I went, right, fine, I've got to go in here. So I got the key. What I didn't do is, can you actually go down that hole? Like the ladder, do you think?
No, it's gone. The ladder's been moved.
That's what I thought.
You literally just look down, there's nothing there.
So when you came back out, did you see the hillbilly guy at all?
When I left the building, I turned around and he was there. I saw him, but it was all bloodied up. That was it.
But you didn't see him before that?
Only possibly I saw him. I wasn't sure because something walked past the door, and that's
him. That's got to be
right.
him.
Yeah,
because I sort of thought I shouldn't follow him, should I? But I kind of have. There's nothing else to do. I can't find the fuse for this fuse box to get up to get this lift button working.
Yeah.
Because up in the loft there's a button to bring the stairs down. I can't get that working. And I got the same ending as you, but apparently you can get in the loft and there's a phone call rings and people are speculating that it sounds like Ada Wong, which it could be. I haven't seen that ending, but I don't. Again, that would actually make it more confusing if it's Ada Wong, because why? But then again, we don't know who you are. They call you a name, but we don't know who you are.
Exactly.
You know?
I think it'd be silly to, if you're going to do Resident Evil again, you would just restart it with a completely, just Resident Evil. Call it Resident Evil. It's not going to have any ties to the original, but it clearly does because it's the seventh in the series.
That's what I don't get. When in an industry where everyone's just going like, and this is Doom, not Doom 4. This is Doom. So why is this? It must have ties somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I think it's nice to be scared by a Resident Evil Resident Evil game again. Like, it is scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's left me as someone who's let's say super fan of Resident Evil, but like I enjoyed Revelations 2, but like we all know the other games, and this has left me very excited to see what this could be. Although I don't know if I could play like a full 8 to 10 hour game of that. That would just be too intense.
Yeah, it is pretty intense. We'll see. I guess. I mean,
there's got to be weapons, isn't there? Because if you look at when you go in your inventory, there looks like quick item slots on the D-pad. Now that's got to be for weapons, surely.
It's just interesting because like the tag when you finish the demo is the family's expected you. So to me, you assume that it's quite a closed environment. I can't see you going through cities or anything like that. I think it's quite an. I have a feeling that the kind of end of the main story will be something pivotal to Resident Evil, but only when you reach the end. I feel the story that you're involved in is something entirely separate from anything we've seen before. I'm just very intrigued by what this family is and what their relevance is, because the names don't ring a bell at all. Like the
No,
Baker family, never heard
not
of
at
them.
all. I mean,
And
the
like,
house itself gave me vibes of Resi 4.
yeah, big time.
The Ganados village and that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess we can speculate all we want, but we won't find out until.
No.
Well, perhaps we'll play some more at some point. I don't know what the plan is, but we won't know for 100% sure what the game's like until January. So until then, Chris, thanks for your time, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Should have backed the GodisaGeek Patreon.